Hey guys, Joel here with Backwoods Brothers. Welcome to. Wait, something's missing here. Oh wait, where's Tony? Oh, yeah, I forgot. Tony's actually out today for a procedure. He's apparently he got some test results back, and I found out he is just too manly, and they need to reduce some of that manliness. So I got to catch up with him a little bit. Anyway, so yeah, we're all by myself today. This is the first for I think Backwards Brothers to only have me on here. Not really sure what to do with myself. I mean, I got George. What's up, man? Yeah, but hey, we're still gonna have a great show. I think it's gonna love it. I got my big boy here today. I got myself a couple mics, and yeah, let's go for it. So we're just gonna dive right into it. We got some good things going on today. I got the ridiculous, which usually is Tony thing, but I got to take care of that today. I'll do my best to keep up with his awesomeness there. I got the breaking news. And they're jumping right into it already. Well, we'll come to that in a minute, though. I have something I'm really passionate about today. It is the only topic on my list besides those pieces, and that is about foundational patriotism. Because I have a lot to say about that because, well, I mean, it's foundational patriotism. It's about where our country is founded on, and the reason why we're here, and the things that people just, like what they don't understand. I mean, from when they stomp on a flag, or when they say that it's about white nationalism, or they don't stand up for the national anthem, or they don't say the Pledge of Allegiance, or they say, how bad our country is and everything else. People really have no idea, and I got a sneak peek of that yesterday. I'm heated up about this because I'm getting tired of it, man. I mean, if you can't have national pride, I mean, you need to go find a place you can have some pride in. I mean, it's in the country you live in. Either love it or go find one you kind of love. I mean, this is what it is. I mean, we are so progressive in it, but I'll get to that in a minute. But first, let's talk a little bit about the ridiculous. So, I love how some people out there are just getting tired of absolutely the ridiculous shit that they do out there. Like, for example, banning books from libraries because they're too racist or whatever other crap like that. I mean, the books, first of all, people will read them if they want to read them. If you don't want to read them, then don't check them out. I mean, it seems like a good choice. But instead, what it's doing is they're trying to remove, historical references or information in nature. So, of where things come from, that's what they're doing. That's when they ban books. It's the virtual 21st or 22nd century, whatever the hell we're in these days, 21st century version of a book burning. Is you ban them from libraries, and since everything is digital these days, it is banned it from online. So to fight back at that, there's this massive, gigantic library over in Maine. I mean, it's a massive, and they are saying, hey, any books you want to ban, give them to us. We'll put them out there because we're getting tired of your shit. So go and take a look how massive this library is. This picture goes there. There you go. Oh, look at this library here. You got Farmer John down there on the right. But yeah, these guys are down there. I absolutely love these guys. These guys are my heroes. They're saying, hey, if you want to ban those books, send them on down to here. We're going to throw them in our library, and people can come check it out there. And even more so, they got the old school thing going on down there. I absolutely love it. They are basically saying, hey, we don't have a librarian, obviously, and I don't know whether they even fit in the building. They have to sit out there with like an umbrella when it rains. But they say, hey, it's on your honor system. You come in, open the door, come get your books, shut the door, go on your way. And they bring it back when you're done. That's old school. That is the understanding of where a foundational part of our freedoms have come from. That understands about, what we used to have in community, not some of the crap we have going on there where they're going to burn, our downtown area, set things on fire. And that's okay, guys. But they understand what we here in Estacada are fighting to try to keep, and that is a small town community feel where it's okay you can feel as comfortable unlocking your doors or leaving your truck unlocked because things aren't going to happen, because you can trust your neighbors are going to look out for you, and you're not going to have to deal with some bullshit coming out from a bigger city or something, But yeah, so I absolutely love the on your honor system. You take and go, and there's little things like that around. Don't get me wrong. I think we have some here, and it's like a book exchange or something where it's like almost like a mailbox. You pick some books in, take some books out. I think they have one here in Estacada. So small town pieces. I'm sure you guys have them too, where you're in your small towns other than Estacada. So, but yeah, that's the ridiculous. But we got more than just ridiculous. We got some breaking news coming in. Well, this Justin Hunter Biden is an asshole. Oh yes, you guys probably already knew that. Hunter Biden in the news again, but this time it's nothing new. Oh look, there you go. Oh look, just like his father, completely like a dumbass. I mean, look at that eye. Let's bring that thing back up. Look at that. That is a creepy ass looking eye. He has like an evil, like it's like Two-Face into one. What's that Batman character? He'd make a perfect like Two-Face Batman character, But yeah, he's in the news again, and it's because hey, shocking news. You can take it down now, Brandy. No. Shocking news. All the information that was claimed by during the campaigning period, that by the way Biden said was, oh, that's a Russian hoax and everything else. Shocking! It's true. Oh, like we didn't all know that already. But hey, Biden's out there and he's defending his golden boy, drug addict, golden boy, lying, cheating son of a bitch. Pardon my French, sir. Did I say that out loud? I know you're all thinking it. Anyways, but yeah, he out there. He said that that there was all a Russian hoax, and he got 50 people that will back him up from intelligence. But however, when I don't know, the person who's doing the investigation, Bill Barr, comes forward, and by the way, he's no fan of Trump. He said, but he came out in a New York Times and a couple other places, and they put the article out, and it says, hey, you know that President Biden he lied to the American people because it's all true about the Hunting Biden lab biter. Anyways, his laptop it really is everything you saw on there. He really is a gigantic asshole. Does some really bad things. Yep, exactly what you saw there. But Biden's always, of course, doubling down on that, and what's a good news reporter do? They go, oh well, we'll just call these people that claim, that he claimed about. We'll back him up on everything, and shocking, 5 of them stood by it, and 30 of them wouldn't answer the phone. A couple of them said no comment, and the rest, probably in a ditch somewhere. So, yeah. By the way, I'm dying. I have these heaters next to me. They're cooking me. I'm like a fried lamb. Anyways, so former U.S. Attorney General Bill Barr on Monday accused President Biden of having lied to the American people. By the way, lying to the American people, while that's probably a trait that comes with most presidents, is something that he has done quite often. And I think you only get so many, like a lying tree. Every time you lie, it kind of falls off. So, unfortunately, I think he's gone through a few of them already. During the presidential debate, when he called the post-exposure of his son's Hunter Biden's emails a Russian plant. So, anyways, so take it up. It's here's another shocking piece of this. It was put out by the New York Post, and I think it was there was another one out there too. I forget to put it out, but that was it too. There's 2 places you can find it. Now, of course, Fox talked a little bit about it, but shocking. ABC, NBC, CBS, and all CNN, and all the other alphabet sons of bitches, they had nothing to say about it. Silence. Awkward. Well, you don't want to talk about it because you have an agenda. Yeah. So that's where we're at with breaking news. Share it, pass it along. Make sure the asshole gets what's due to him. Anyways, let's get to the big story. So, foundational patriotism. I'm kind of curious what it means to you guys. Before I get too far into that, actually, I'm going to ask you, what is when I say foundational patriotism? I mean, I gave you a little bit of hints of my thoughts on there. What do you guys think that means? Like, what are some of your thoughts on that? So, I'd like to see comments you have for there, and see if we got any comments in already. No, here we go. What's up? Starting in T-minus 12 minutes. Woo! I'm not sure what that was. Oh, that was Brandy. That's from a little bit ago. Hey! American number one, yes. What I think is ridiculous is Estacada having a DEIC community and not having a dedicated police force. Yeah, yes, I definitely agree. I have my thoughts on the DEIC. I shared a little bit of last night. Honestly, here's my thoughts. I'm gonna give a quick thought on here, and I get just a reminder. This is my personal thoughts. I do not ever speak as a city councilor on this show, so I want you to be very clear about that. This is my personal opinion. One, if we haven't been sued for anything, that's a big flag there. Two, you shouldn't have to have a group of people tell you how to think and what to do. It should be a natural part of the culture to be diverse and inclusive in everything you do. It should just be a natural thing you do. And Estacada has a history of being that way because, like I said, have we ever been sued? Up until just recently, has anything really come forward about this? There may be some people in the city that have done some things, and there's some issues in the schools. But the city itself has never, ever had that problem. The actual city, like the government. I mean, there's nothing that I've seen. If I'm wrong, show me. Tell me about it. I'd be interested to hear about it. But so I don't really see the reason for to having a DEIC on there. That's like wiping before you poop. It just don't make sense. So that's my personal opinion. But hey, you know what? It's there, and we'll see what they come up with. I'm still waiting for them to come up with anything that's relevant because it's only been a year and a half and they've done absolute crap. So again, personal opinion. Okay, let's see what we got here. All those pictures of Hunter Biden is so repulsive. Yeah, they are repulsive. That was kind of the idea, I think. So, and I think any picture of Hunter Biden is repulsive. I mean, a guy that can act like that. So, but yeah, definitely. Show me. I've seen anything come in yet. What's your thoughts on what when I say foundational patriotism? Okay. So, well, when I talk about foundational patriotism, I'm talking about everything that makes us an American. From the day that we said "fuck you" to the British. Pardon my French today, guys. I'm a little worked up. So, and I'm by myself, so I'm a little off. So haven't had enough caffeine or something. But when I talk about foundational patriotism, I'm talking specifically about like, you know, the sacrifices people have made, what built our country, what went into creating the Constitution, what went into creating to basically putting the amendments and the Bill of Rights on there, what get us the Declaration of Independence, you know, the what we fought for during the Civil War, what we fought for in other wars, and what really helped to build the ground on which we stand on today as a country, and that, by the way, is actually being eroded away in a matter of a little over a year by the moron sitting in our White House. I respect the presidency. I do not respect Mr. Biden because Mr. Biden lost his right for me to be called the president when he left Americans behind. After 200 and some odd years, we had never left an American behind on any sort of issue like that. We fought hard. We lost soldiers. People laid down their lives, sacrificed themselves to to make sure that they came home. We have something called the Tomb of an Unknown Soldier sitting over in Arlington, that's in that area in Washington, that people march on because there's a sense of respect and a sense of respect and a sense of dignity that comes with that. But when he left those Americans behind, that basically just said "fuck you" to all of their sacrifice. So, but you know, it's something that's passionate to me, something that you know I fought for. You know, I lost friends for, and lost friends in during the time I spent in Afghanistan. Friends that went back over, friends that came back not the same. I mean, hell, I carry some PTSD scars myself. But we'll talk more about that here in a little bit. So, but first, what we should be talking about is some absolutely amazing places to eat pizza right here in Estacada. We have a place called Hitch and Post Pizza. They are great supporters right here of Backwoods Brothers, and owned by an amazing couple that just love their country, love their town, and fight to keep it. A small town, fight to keep it. America is America. Don't Portland our Estacada. I mean, They work hard, and they've been here for a very long time, and they make this amazing stuff. If you ever want to challenge, go for that dill pizza down there. That there is Hitch and Post Pizza. So just take a minute and take a look at what we got for them. Oh, hey guys, I'm sorry. I mean, I was reading. That's good. Hey, oh man, we got a lot of stuff. This came in. Bam. Let's see. When Jerry won't answer the question. Okay. I think I'm missing part of that comment. I need more context to that because I think I'm missing part of that comment there. Anyways, Estacada is very diverse. I think the DEIC was reaction to the BLism threats. I think it was supposed to be the BLM threats. It was very reactionary, and that's the one thing you should never do as a leadership in a city is be reactionary. I mean, yes, you need to be responsive. Don't be reactionary. Reaction means that you jump into something without a whole lot of thought and purpose. Responsive means that you take into consideration of what's going on, you plan, you consider, and you put it into play. But I think there was a desire to just throw this thing out there and say, oh, look, we need this. Because someone mistook some comments online that was said and ran with them. And because there's a whole story that no one wanted to listen to. But that's fine. People can do what they want to do. It is a free country, which we'll talk a little more about today. But yeah, it was definitely a BLM response. I'm reading them. Foundational patriotism goes to the standing and the founding documents. Yes, you're very much right. Foundational patriotism does go to the standing and the foundational documents, such as the Constitution, which is that one there, easy to see. The Constitution, which goes into into our Declaration of Independence. It's what helped form the amendments that we have on there, which identify our core rights granted from God, which the Constitution does limit the power that the government has, which they seem to think it grants us our rights. But instead, we're granted rights under God, and it's saying you don't have all the other rights. All the other rights not listed in the Constitution are inheritably ours. So, but again, something we'll talk to you soon enough. Someone said U.S. Constitution is what it means. Patriotism is those willing to defend America and all she stands for, defending our freedoms. Damn straight. How about it's more just in defending our freedoms? How about establishing a point in history where we said, hey, we're not just going to defend our freedoms, but we're declaring the freedoms granted to us by God, and then we'll defend those with our life. Because that was what it was when we made the Declaration of Independence. It was an establishment in a period of time, and for a people that says, we know the rights granted to us under God, and we are going to protect those rights, and you have no right to trespass on those. So, and that's what the document of Declaration of Independence basically said, with other things included. But it basically said, fuck you to the Queen of England. Let's see. On the bright side, the evils the man did, that they tried to hide, is now coming to light, only 2.5 years too late. But still, yeah, that's the thing about the, U.S. government. A little late. I guess better late than never, right? I don't know, whatever. Maybe not. Because I have a feeling if that stuff would have come out when it should have, instead of the biased media trying to hide it like they do, it might have changed a few people's opinions. Which, by the way, the big chunk of those who may or may not have voted for Biden, I bet you are kicking themselves now a little bit. $5 for a gallon of gas from $2. Enjoy that. I've been to the monument and watched the entire changing of the guard. Yep. So you understand if you've been there, you understand the order, the respect, the discipline, the process, what all that goes behind, and the honor that it is to be one of those honor guard. They call it honor guard for a reason. but to be one of those soldiers that walks and protects and defends that, and then tell every soldier is brought home. Doesn't have so much of a meaning right now, does it? Because we have a commander-in-chief, as they so call him, that's basically ran from a fight that we didn't have to run from, costing soldiers 13 lives uselessly after going a year and a half without any loss of life. And one of the most debacles, one of the most worstly executed withdrawals in history, by the way, even worse than the one from Vietnam, by the way, which you said it wouldn't be like that, and yet I think they almost took a damn near the same picture, trying to escape off the roof of the embassy. So, anyways, let's see. We still have the boots on the ground in Afghanistan, but because they are not combat troops, the media claims all combat troops are out. Yeah, we don't. We had people that were no longer in the military go and extract people out. And by the way, some people say, well, we got all our U.S. citizens out eventually. No, we still have people there, and we also have those who did stuff for us that we promised things to, which apparently promising stuff to other people in other countries isn't. We don't stand by that again, because Biden, with Ukraine, we said, hey, we promised to protect you and take care of some things for you if you do X. Well, they did X, and then we basically left them hanging. For me, it means freedom to choose, exclude racism, and upload the constitutions. I think he meant to say uphold the constitutions. The amendments writes, he is no one's president. He is a con artist and a puppet. He is not a real president. Well, that's the words they say there. Biden is a puppet. Oh, yep, there you go. Once you pop up that more on the screen real quick. That's on it. There you go. Yes. Shits and giggles, the world's greatest clown act. Welcome to Clown Show, formerly known as the United States. Yeah. But you know what? We say that, we make the joke about it, but in the end, I still support and defend that Constitution, and I'd still gladly give my life to defend her today, because that is something I believe in. That's something I fought for. My friends laid their lives down for, and laid pieces of their lives down for. Came back missing items, physically and mentally. Even today, that's still something that happens today in the most recent war. I mean, we have people that support and defend that Constitution today because they believe in it. They believe what it stands for. They swore an oath to uphold it. Oaths still mean something to somebody today. You get these jackasses up on, that's from both sides. That's from both Republicans. That's from Democrats. That's from everybody. These jackasses up on Capitol Hill that can't, take 5 minutes to figure out a solution and come to the common ground to work together. Instead, they'll do anything they can. For example, I just read that they're trying to get the new interview this new potential judge, and the Democrats delivered the documents of some of our previous cases and stuff to them hours and hours later. So the Democrats had it in time for this first set of interviews, but they didn't. But the Republicans didn't get. No one got any of it until it was dinner time, like 11 hours in. I mean, why is nobody being held accountable for that? Somebody needs to be fired. And you know what? I think you should be able to fire with a sitting congressman. I mean, yeah, you can go through the whole process of a recall election and stuff like that if you want to go through all that. But I think there should be better ways if they're going to show ethical, like downright openly ethical issues, like not delivering stuff for it's an equal bipartisan approach to come to something. Then damn well fire somebody for it. Charge them with a crime or something. There should be something that could be done for this, because you say you want equality and everything else from the left side, but you can't even play fair at the table. How about get your head out of your ass and try doing something that meets in the middle, so therefore you can actually try to come to some bipartisan agreement. But instead, all either side wants is their own way, so they can't find that middle ground. You're not there to represent yourself and your damn party. You're there to represent the people of the United States. And that means as many people as you can, the majority. And the majority doesn't always encompass one side of the aisle. Majority of people want lower gas prices. Open up the damn pipeline. Is that so hard to do? Anyways. Hey, broski, looking good. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. I'm a sexy beast. And I know it. Sexy and I know it. Okay, I shouldn't dance. In God we trust. It's written right there on our bills. I would show you, but I don't have any bills. My wife has them all. So. Went to a funeral in Arlington. Listened to Tao Secco. Then the Tome of the Unknown. It was life-altering. Yeah, maybe one day I'll get a chance to go there and see that. Hopefully not to visit Arlington permanently, but the one day I'll get a chance to go and I'll get a chance to see all that. That's on my bucket list. So, Sideshow Joe. Yeah. We have too many youth and politicians who never lost anyone to war. I think it's they think it's a video game. Yeah. I can tell you one thing. Any jackass that has never been to war but has an opinion on it should keep their opinions to themselves, honestly. So until you have a bullet fly by your head, until you're treating someone whose arms and legs are blown off, until you have someone that you've known, for years and you look up to, crying to you because they just thought they killed their entire team because they're the ones that were driving when they hit an IED. Oh yeah, and by the same time not worrying about the fact that they'll probably never walk again and about to lose their leg. But they're more worried about their team because it's about your brother next to you. Until you've seen shit like that, how about you shut your damn mouth? And say thank you to those who actually sacrificed and did it. Oh yeah, it's a free country and all like that. You're welcome. How about say thank you to the person that gave you the ability to sit there and say shit and stomp on a fucking flag that they gave their life or a piece of their life for. That flag means something. That's why we wear it on our shoulders. Shoulders. Backwards. The flag, if you ever seen it on someone's shoulder, you ever wonder why it looks backwards? And you go, oh man, that flag's supposed to be the other way around. That's the way it sits up there, right? Stars on the left and stripes this way. You know why it's sitting backwards on your shoulder? Because you're ever charging forward. If you're running backwards, it's the other way. But if you're ever moving forward towards the enemy, towards the threat, that's the way it should be flying. A soldier understands the risks. And, I mean, granted, there's always the outliers, but I'm not talking about that. I'm saying the majority of the soldiers who join. I wanted to join the military since I was a kid because I believed in the country. Still do. Many of the guys I've served with, most of them joined because they believe in something and they want to fight for that. They want to have the honor of serving their country. And then they come home and they see what a debacle these jackasses sitting up in Congress are making of it. Or that moron in the White House. Just stomping on everything they just spent a year and a half, maybe longer, away from their families, taking wounds, seen and unseen, just give you the freedoms to sleep peacefully at night. To try to keep the enemy at bay. You don't keep the enemy at bay at your door. You keep the enemy at bay across town. Because you don't bring them to your last line of defense. You take the problem, you solve it where it's at. Portland doesn't understand that. They say, fuck it. They're just going to let everybody run down and burn the damn buildings down whenever they want. But the reality of what you do is you fight the battle away from you so the people that you're protecting are safe and don't have to see the horrors of what happens, like they did on September 11th, 2001, when 5,000 American people were killed. I rounded up. I know this is an exact amount, so give me the real numbers if you want. But let's see. We have too many youth and politicians who have never. I already said that. Lost anyone to war. Sounds like a rant I had not too long ago. Yeah, it's true. I think a lot of us have the same rant. I just usually try to keep it more controlled, but I don't have someone here to keep me under control. Tony, you're my limiter. Not in a bad way. I mean in a good way. You don't let me rant, but now you're not here to stop me. Hope you're feeling better, buddy. And he's got a procedure. We say a prayer for him. I'm hoping everything comes out okay. Anyways. Congress fought to deny elderly and disabled from getting 6% COLA, cost of living allowance. But guess gave himself a 21% raise this week. By the way, guys, in my opinion, I think that the Congress need to never be able to give themselves a raise. That raise needs to come by a vote of the American people. How would you love that? So, instead of going, hey, guys, I want to give myself a giant raise in money so I can, because I want to. And I can say I can, But, I want the people that I actually work for to tell me that. Imagine if you could go to your boss and say, you know what? I'm giving myself a 20% raise. Ain't nothing you could do about it. Your boss would say, get the fuck out of here. That's what I could do about it. But, or they just wouldn't pay you. But here Congress can give themselves a raise. Oh, it has to be voted through Congress. No one's going to say no to that shit. But, I think that right there, if you want to see a politician that makes it to Congress, I want to see someone put it on the docket for the American people to vote for. Because that's what I believe, is everything that can and should go to the American people should go to the American people. But something to vote for, the law that says that Congress can't give themselves the raise, it has to go to the vote of the people. Because you know why they don't do that? Because they know that it's going to be said no to. And the reason they're going to say no to it is because they're not getting a raise and they're not seeing the work being done. You don't get a raise unless you do the job. I don't care if you spend 40 hours a day. Of course, not 40 hours a day. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, busting your ass, doing everything you can. I don't care if you're not getting the job done. But by the way, you don't do that. Just, they take massive amounts of time off. Oh, butterflies. Butterfly. I always get backwards. It's up here. Anyways, squirrel. That's a squirrel moment there. Anyway, let's see what else we got people saying here. I do got some more specific stuff to say. I'm not just going on a rant, I promise. Or maybe I am, I don't know. Let's see. Go volunteer to help lay wreaths on graves at Christmas. You would find healing and peace by the end of the day. Beautiful, heartbreaking. Yeah. Couldn't agree more. Sometimes it's simple. You could just take the minute to just put a flag up on a veteran holiday. Maybe think of veteran on a veteran holiday. And a lot of people do that, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you guys don't do that. I'm sure most of you guys who watch the show actually do that. You probably put up a flag and thank a veteran and, sometimes buy a veteran a meal, something like that. That's cool. And I appreciate that. Me as a veteran, I don't need that. I'm not saying you need to do something like that for me. And I don't think any veteran out there is really going to be asking for that. Most veterans, especially ones who've seen war, kind of keep it to themselves. But I'm telling you, it's something that they appreciate when it does happen. Because this happened to me and I appreciate it. I appreciate the thank yous and things like that. But I'm not going to seek it. But I'm going to speak out for them. So, someone says exactly. I'm not sure which point I was babbling about that I said exactly to. Exactly. They have no room to talk, no experience of military lifestyle, and have fought in the military. Those people need to stick a boot up their asses. Yeah. Honestly, I think it is time for a serious change in that portion of the government. I think it's time for them to step out and have term limits and bring some new people in that are ready to do, make a change and actually care about the people that they serve and will listen to them and seek that information. So, even though it's legal, don't ever burn an American flag in front of me. Yeah, because the first thing is I'm going to put it out, and then I'm probably going to put you out. Maybe not. I don't know. I can't say that openly. They shouldn't get a raise. One and done. New blood in. Yep. Closed fist rubbed together with a maniacal laughter. That's what I'm picturing when you say that. That's kind of creepy. I kind of scared myself there. How many Americans youth today would stand up and fight for their country, and how many are too soft? I guarantee they would stand and fight for the country in a video game. That's an image for you. Yeah, I mean, people, you get these. I saw once in a video, in a movie or no show, TV show. I was watching, and there's this guy. It was one of these guys was a veteran, and I think he was supposed to be a spy in the movie or something like that. And he's supposed to be training this other guy who was basically never served or anything else, and he's trying to teach him how to shoot a gun. The guy that's never served picks up the. We'll call him the little guy. The little guy picks up the weapon. He's like, "Oh, this is a M9 Beretta, this many rounds, and etc." And kind of rattles off some stuff about it. He slaps the magazine, cocks everything else, and the other guy's looking, go, "Really? Oh, your stuff. That's pretty good. Whatever." And this guy gets up there and he takes aim, pulls the trigger, and the weapon goes flying behind him. The other guy catches it, and that's what I picture when youth would try to serve or try to go to battle. Like, oh, I got this, man. I rack up 200 kills every time I get on there and play, and I can dodge it, and I don't ever die or whatever else, and I can med myself, and I play Rust, and you med yourself, anyways. Yeah, I mean, I'm good at this. I'm top notch. It wouldn't last 5 minutes, because what a real soldier does is they train over and over and over and over and over, and then they train again. Rain, hail, sleet, snow. You're training. The reason why you're constantly training is because when that bullet flies, all cognitive, reasonable thought leaves your brain, and it all comes down to the core training that you have. It's response, it's reactionary. You hear that pop off, you hit the ground instantly, and you identify the direction of the fire. You get up and you move to cover. That's what you do. And then you put down suppressive fire once you have identified where it's coming from. Sometimes it varies based upon the situation. If you're in a vehicle, obviously you're not going to jump at the ground. You identify a source of fire, and then once you know the direction of fire, then you may dismount, move to cover, and then lay down suppressive fire, or whatever it is. Sometimes you drive through the kill zone. There's a million different situations, but that's what you train for all those. So when that situation kicks up, it's not going, okay, this is what I do. I do some training. Where's my manual? No. You just do it. You react. And it's the same with like medical. When someone is, gasping for air because they've had a solid impact to their chest, you don't want to sit to be thinking about all the things that could be wrong, but at the same time you do. It's got to process through your mind. You got to recognize instantly the signs and know that you need to do chest needle decompression because potentially they have a pneumothorax because they had pressure on their chest. You can look at, you can see, do they have flail chest and all the other things you learn as you're a medic. That was what I did. I was a medic. And you train over and over again so that you instantly start seeing those signs, and you can know, oh, I see tracheal deviation. They're gasping for rest. It's getting harder and harder to breathe. Their chest starting to fill. That's the different things you can think of. Do they have an exit wound? Do they have a single entry wound? I mean, these are all different things you take into instant consideration when someone's been shot or stabbed or punctured or had, like I said, heavy impacts to their chest. All these different things that have to run through your head, and you have to do it while you potentially under fire and under a great amount of stress, and there could be more than one patient. And so if you don't constantly train, then it could cost someone their life. Anyways, those are things that I don't believe that many youth today can do because they can't keep their attention on something for more than the 10 seconds. Our average video gets viewed from anywhere from 15 to 36 seconds. That tells me that the person looking at the video has an attention span of 15 to 36 seconds. They can't go further on some of those videos to look. We have a lot of view time overall for our stuff, but there means there's a lot of scanners too. And that means that the attention span of people is going down quickly. And so if you answer to answer your question about the youth, I think there'll be some serious problems in that area. And it's getting worse and worse, I think. Let's see. Unfortunately, I don't trust either party. Look at how Crenshaw has lost money and power. Let money and power go to his head. Yeah, I haven't heard anything new, recent updates to that, but it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, they say absolute power corrupts absolutely. I mean, it's you can go from the local level all the way up. I mean, if you don't have solid morals and values, and the most important thing too, I think, is the right people in your ear on a consistent basis, it can go wrong. And you have to have enough inner morality, inner kind of center point and foundation in order to check yourself when there's an issue. You need to be able to check yourself against those morals and say, something's not right here. And sometimes you have to ask other people, hey, what's going on here? And you need to rely on those people to tell you what's going on. Unfortunately, I heard one person say, light it and you wear it while still burning. That's one way to say it. So, okay. Oh, let's see. Let me go to my notes here, guys, because I like I said, I did have some things to say. But one thing that really got me, one thing that really burned me the most was I heard recently was how someone was trying to say that the flag is a symbol of white nationalism. You may have seen a post on our Facebook recently about that, and yeah, that really pissed me off because it's not a symbol of white nationalism. It's a symbol of the sacrifice and the people who laid down their lives and the country that we built and the freedoms that we have. And we're unlike no other nation in the entire world. The way our government, our democracy is organized, we're like no one else in the entire world. We have a foundation that has been set in order to try to protect our freedoms, but it still requires the people that are in that country, that are under that constitution, to exert those rights. While there's some First Amendment auditors and things I don't agree with because some of them are just assholes and trying to look for ways to sue and cause money, at the same time, I agree with some of the ideas and concepts they're trying to do. Agree with some of the concepts they're trying to do because they're trying to identify and stand behind the rights that the Constitution guarantees that are so quickly eroding and fading away. We are given those rights, and it's our job. It's actually requirement of a citizen. It's on the citizenship test, but it's requirement of a citizen to support and defend the Constitution. And what that means is support and defend those rights. Now it's getting cold again. Kind of funny how that shifts in here. But I have a foundation to stand on here to talk about this. I mean, and I appreciate you guys taking your time to listen to me talk about all this. And every week you guys come back, and man, this chair is really messing with me. We built a studio, we put a lot of things together, we put a lot of time into trying to grow this, guys, and we appreciate all your support so much coming back and joining with us in the conversation. If you guys weren't here, we wouldn't have anything to say. I mean, it's because of the flag that people are no longer slaves. The flag brought rights. Yes, that's part of what it did. Yes, it did. But it's because you guys are here that we are here. And I thank you for that. And, we get supported by sponsors. And that helps a little bit. But we also get supported by you guys. And like I said, I have a platform to put that out on. But sometimes nobody has the same type of platform I do. You got Facebook and things like that. But sometimes there's other ways to get that information out. And sometimes it's to make a banner or a sign. Put that out. You have a household, put it out there. Let everybody know what you think. Let your neighbors know what you think. Stand by it. Put that flag out. But sometimes you want to make that banner or that sign, you have something you really want to say, you got to go to a good, solid company that can make those banners and signs. And we actually have one of the supports us really well. It's the Whitney Signs. They support us very, very well. They always stand behind us. I know that they listen to the show. We get all our stickers and our signs and everything else from them. And I just really appreciate them. And including one of the owners is usually someone who comes, you've seen on the show a bunch of times here. That's Sean Drinkwine. But also Mary Whitney is also one of the owners, and she works so hard. They work so hard for it, and they just do such great, amazing work. Let's take a minute and look at one of their commercial. So a comment just popped up here. By the way, I love the very end of that. That was a lot of fun filming that. By the way, if you have a business and you want a chance to support Backwoods Brothers, or a business that would benefit from being on Backwoods Brothers, we can go out, we make those videos as part of a package that we have, and then we put them on here every week, as you see. We are looking for sponsors. We have spots open. And so if you have a business and you're interested in supporting Backwoods Brothers by getting your business advertised, we'll make you a nice 30-second commercial, come out and film it with you. We write the script if you want. Or if you have one you want to give to us, we can also use that as well. And then we get a chance to advertise right here, and then we push it out. And we're constantly talking about you. If you watch the show, you know what we're talking about. And you don't have to be local, too. You can be, if you're over in Florida, Texas, Alaska. We know we have a lot of viewers up in those areas, too. So they need to take a look at the demographic of our military. I see Americans serving with all skin colors and religions. That came from all over the world. The flag represents all of us, period. Yes, it does. And I want to be very clear too. We talk a lot about the military and the sacrifice they make too. It's not just the military. That flag is something that means something, and to not only law enforcement, firefighters, people who serving like first responders, like medical and things like that. You'll see a lot of them. They have a flag on their shoulder because it means something to them. It's a symbol to them, and they swore an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution. Technically, by being a citizen, you kind of have the same thing, but they swore an oath to it, and that means something to them. And so it's not just them. They sacrifice on a daily basis themselves. They have the same type of scars, and sometimes they don't get to come home. So let's not forget them when I'm talking about this too. And that goes all the way back, Mary is so awesome. Yes, I agree. She is absolutely awesome. So she does such a great work. American Legion Post, Boy Scout clubs, and the veterans of foreign wars often hold flag retirement ceremonies in which old American flags are disposed of in a dignified manner. While most of these organizations will retire your flag for free, it's recommended you make a small cash donation to show your support. Yep, it does help. It's a way they can raise some money, but they take the time to properly retire those. And I mean, there's a reason why those traditions and those processes and why the flag has stood for so long, because there was a breadth of people that stand by, and I mean not only physically, but I mean metaphorically as well, stand behind to uphold that flag and defend it. And when you stomp on that flag, you're basically, when you treat a flag like that, you're basically declaring war on those people. And when you declare war, you probably shouldn't be in the country. If you don't like it, leave. People say, oh, well, the flag's part of white nationalism. Bullshit. There's been more races fought for that flag over the course of 220 years. I'm not doing the math right now. It's like somewhere. Let me say. Do the math for me. Let me know what it is. I think like 240 years. 240 years. Somewhere in there. Anyways. But there are people that from all nationalities, including former slaves, who had, even as a former slave, they had so much pride and love for their country that they were freed, and then they went and served in the military to fight and defend that cause in that country. Today, those children, and I don't care what age it is, it's a childish act. Those children who stomp on that flag, it may be protected speech. I think it should be a crime, and actually in some cases it is a crime if the state so deems it. But those children have no idea, no clue what they're talking about. Just like when a child tries to tell you that they know better, and you as a parent go, you have no clue. The same thing comes when those guys are stomping on that flag, because they don't understand white nationalism. Are you kidding me? Yeah, there's been a lot of white people in the military, but there's black, Asian, Hispanic, I'm sure I'm missing some. There's, if you want to go into different lands, you got Irish. The Irish used to come over, literally get off the boat, go over, get some food, and then go over, sign an agreement to get citizenship by going back and serving in the military. They wanted to be a citizen of the U.S. so bad that they would come over and they'd go right back into service. They do it for the family too, because they wanted to be a citizen so bad and they believed in their country. We talk about Like I said, the slaves. Like Crispus Crispus Attucks, who many historians credit as the first man to die for the rebellion, became a symbol of the Black American patriotism and sacrifice. Yeah, he was during the American Revolution. Black man fought to bring this country independently. So, Salem Poor began the life as a Massachusetts slave and ended as an American hero. Born into bondage in the late 1740s, he purchased his own freedom 2 decades later for 27 pounds, the equivalent of a few $1,000s today. Soon after, Poor joined to fight for independence. Wow! The guy bought his freedom. He could have gone anywhere, but instead he busted his ass for a long time, by the way. It takes a long time to earn that type of money. And he earned his freedom, and then he went and fought for the country. When you stomp on those flags, when you disrespect the Constitution and everything that it stands for, that's the type of people you disrespect. People like that. And you say, oh, it's white nationalism. You are kicking that guy in the gonads. He's not white. And there are so many stories like this. I found these stories 5 minutes on the internet. You can go find tons more yourself. Don't take my word for it. Look it up yourself. Fucking white nationalism. Are you kidding me? Someone says, I agree. 246 years almost. Thank you so much. I knew it was up there a little ways. I knew 220 was wrong when I said it, but that's why I asked for specifics. If the American flags are so racist, why is it that every school in the United States pledged to the American flags? Those who fought, how many refugees come here for freedom? Exactly. People I almost guarantee you every one of those people that are saying that, I mean, of course, outliers, etc. Almost every one of those people that are stomping on that flag probably never stepped foot out of this country into a third world country. Probably didn't serve in the military. Probably didn't come from a refugee side. They don't understand. And yeah, you may find one or two out there, but that's the outliers. You may get a couple people and let them speak their opinion, whatever. I don't care. But most of the people don't know. I've been to Afghanistan and I've seen what real racism is. Hell, I lived in Mexico for 6 months of my life when I was younger. I had racism down there. I was called gringo. Every day. Heck, I used to get chased by some of the kids down there because I was white. Racism exists all across the world today, even. Slavery exists across the world. Sex slavery. People are kidnapped and sold into sex slavery every day. But you don't see people whining and crying about that very much. You get a small group out there, but it doesn't make the news. Oh, but someone's wrongly arrested because they're black. Or you get some moron who committed a crime like, faking a hate crime and then gets sentenced to 5 months in jail for committing a crime, which, by the way, caused a lot of damage and everything else. I think he should have got 5 years. He gets 5 months, he's whining, oh, it's a hate crime, oh, that's because I'm black. How about we put some information up there about the sex trade? How about the media actually has some accountability to the people that they're supposed to be reporting to? Oh, wait, I forgot that one way with Obama. But, hey, how about to get some accountability on them and get them to report on things that matter the most, like, again, sex slavery, this crap they're putting in our schools, trying to critical race theory, which, by the way, is one of the most racist things I've seen in my lifetime. Critical race theory, trying to elevate, anytime you try to elevate one race above the other for anything at all, that is racist. Critical race theory at its core is racist. If critical race theory said, oh, all races are critical, all races should be equal, and all races should have equal rights and equitable actions, then everybody, okay, that makes sense. But no, they try to raise anybody else above one race. I don't care if you raise 5 races equally above one race. The minute you leave one race behind, it's racist. I've never seen such a hypocritical statement. And the whole point is racism is simply a tool that the Marxist community is using to try to tear down and have control over our community. They are manipulating people. The minute you let someone else's thoughts take over your thoughts and you don't have the critical capability to develop your own, you have become a slave to that person's thoughts and those person's opinions. Form your own thoughts and then you have control over that. If you still come to the same conclusion after putting your own thoughts, fine. At least you own your thoughts. That means you've done your research and you thought about it. You answered your questions by getting the information yourself, rather than going, "Hey, tell me what you think." Oh, yeah, I'm going to go with that. American Legion Post 74 has a flag exchange program in town. We will bring you a new flag and retire your old one. That's from Jim. Jim, if you got some information that we can post on the website, please let us know. We'll throw that up on there. 100,000 formerly enslaved Americans joined the Union Army to fight in the Civil War. I rest my case. Young men are still being kidnapped and sold to slavery in Africa. Yep, in Africa, and it still happens today. Hell, it happens down in South America even. If you are part of a tribe, and another tribe doesn't like you, and that tribe is bigger, they might come and wipe out your entire tribe. It's called genocide. Oh yeah, by the way, genocide is racist. A racist act. So it doesn't matter if you have the same skin color. He barely stayed 3 days in jail and out. Yeah, I know. I heard about that. Disgusting. I say, when someone who's been convicted of a crime, short of going off through the process of an appeal and being released, so when a district attorney chooses to not give them tries to fight for them not to give them the sentence or whatever else, that district attorney should serve the sentence instead. You believe so strongly that person should not be in jail, then be willing to stand in the gap and take that sentence for him. Guarantee some of these people that were just released on, we're not going to charge them or whatever else. Let the courts and the people decide. Stop playing God. Actual 6 in protected custody because he is actual 6 in protected custody because he is privileged. Shouldn't leave any race out. We are all Americans and humans. They should force their racist bullshit on anyone. They shouldn't force, I think is what I meant to say. And I hate the word indigenous. Yeah. I wonder what the actual definition of indigenous is. I'm pulling on my notes, guys. I can tell you about some more, heroes from the previous during fighting for our country, but let's just jump forward a little bit. How about Lawrence Joel? He was part of a battle on November 8th. There's actually a song about him by Beck and Rich. But he was one of the first living black men to receive the Medal of Honor he was a medic. Medic! For saving lots of lives. Black men win the Medal of Honor because they understood. This flag means something. This country means something. This Constitution, it's always the wrong shoulder. This Constitution means something. The truth is simple. It always has been. That's the core truth. Only deception and falsehood is complicated. The foundation of our country is equally as simple. It's freedom. And those freedoms are paved and secured by the bricks and mortar of the lives of the patriots who paid the price before us. And that really is the basic truth of our entire country. You want to put what that foundation is, it's freedom. It really is. That's what it is. It's freedom. That is the simplistic term, box, case shut, no other argument. Freedom. And those aren't freedoms that are granted to us by a constitution. Those are the freedoms that are protected, that we already inherently have, to limit the government's power and says, here's the freedoms that are granted to us by God that we're going to outline here. But anything not laying in here doesn't mean you don't have freedom. It means that, by looking at the Ninth Amendment for that one, says anything that's not listed in here is already granted to the people. The Oregon State Constitution closely mirrors this, and in fact adds a little bit extra. You know, every state has its own constitution, right? A lot of them say the same things, protecting those core freedoms. Emily Ariana Warren was arrested Thursday night for trespassing and desecrating the Tennessee state flag and the American flag at Red Clay State Park. She was charged with desecration of a flag, 2 counts, vandalism, and criminal trespassing. She was stomping on the flag and causing problems, and so Tennessee said, "Fuck you, you're going to jail." Thank you, Tennessee. Wish some more states would step up and uphold the constitutional declaration to that constitution. I wish public officials wouldn't be so damn scared to do their job. Nothing against them. I'd be probably the same way. I'd be scared to do anything because, hell, you do anything these days, someone says, "Oh, racism, bias," and they sue. It should cost you a chunk of money to sue these days. I mean, people do less. Another group that served to protect our freedom, World War I, Windtalkers. Was it World War II? I know you history buffs are out there. I mean, I forget if it was World War II. I get it mixed up. I think it's actually World War II. I want to say it's World War II. No. D-Day. It was World War II. Yep, it was. World War II Windtalkers. So, watch them put against some history buffs and be like, "No, you're wrong," and that's fine. I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong. "I'm rather proud of my native ancestry," it says. That's a quote. By the way, I am I think I'm like 1/8 Indian. I don't know if that's for Mom. She knows more about it. "Racism has lost all meaning now." Yeah, it has. There's a quote here I absolutely love. I'm gonna read it to you guys. It's from Chief Tecumseh. I'm gonna butcher this. I'm sorry. He was spoken a long time ago. Chief Tecumseh. So, anyways, it was in a movie at one point, but I looked it up. It's a real guy, real quote. It's awesome. "So live your life that fear of death can never enter your heart. Trouble no one about their religion. Respect others in their view, and demand that they respect yours. Love your life. Perfect your life. Beautify all things in your life. Seek to make your life a love song and its purpose in service to your people. Prepare a noble death song for the day when you go over the Great Divide. Always give a word or a sign of salute when meeting or passing a friend, even a stranger, when in a lonely place, or even a stranger when in a lonely place. Show respect to all people and grovel to none. When you rise in the morning, give thanks for the food and joy of living. If you see no reason for giving thanks, the fault lies only in yourself. Abuse no one and no thing, for abuse turns the wise ones to fools and robs the spirit of its vision. When it comes to your time to die, be not like those whose hearts are filled with the fear of death, so when their time comes, they weep and pray for a little more time to live their lives over again in a different way. Sing your death song and die like a hero going home." That's from Chief Tecumseh. Ha! Thank you. Read that 1,000 times. And our producer, my wife, gets it right the first time. Shouldn't admit that. Now she's going to go back and say, "Hey, look, he said I was right." But yeah, that man, that poem gets me when I hear it. I just absolutely love it. The part here says, "Love your life, perfect your life, beautify all things in your life. Seek to make your life long and in purpose in the service Seek to make your life long and its purpose in the service of your people." There's a million ways you can serve your neighbors. Knocking on the door and checking on them occasionally, see how things are going. Bring them dinner occasionally. Wave at them on the street. If you have the ability, mow their yard for them. If they need help, be there for them. That's what community is. The Native Americans understood that. Small communities understand that. There's a group of people out there that understand it. That's not a concept that's core alone just to those who follow Christ, though it's a big purpose of it. It says God says to be his hands and feet. But it's a common community thing. It matters. When I think about the condition of our country, it pisses me off. When the things that people do to drive down our country the way they do, to stomp on those flags, to tear it apart, to speak ill will. It's their country. Have some pride in your country. And if you don't like the way it is, do something to change it. Don't sit there and bitch about it. Do something to change it. If you don't like the way it is, get pissed off. Be a patriot yourself. And fight for the things that you want to see in your country. Bitching does nothing. That's a whining way to do it. And sometimes you just need to let people know when you're pissed off. And honestly, there's no better way than that. Say some merchandise that says "Pissed Off Patriot." We happen to have some of that. You can get some Pissed Off Patriot stuff. It says, "Hey, I'm a pissed off patriot." Check this out. Some of you guys are enjoying me talking tonight by myself. How am I doing, guys? Am I keeping you entertained? Tony sent a comment in and says, "That's awesome. Good wisdom." He also says, "Community leaves not room for the community leaves not room for the race." So, I'm not sure what "no" means. Miss having Tony here. he's such an awesome co-host. Nothing but love for you, buddy. Looking forward to you come back. And someone said selflessness, not selfishness. Did I miss something in there? Yes, selflessness, not selfishness. Okay, taking care of the community. Gotcha. But, guys, I'll tell you one thing. I'm not the only one that has something to say about this. I do know Tony doesn't, so I've been trying not to steal his thunder coming up for next week. And you think that the foundation pieces here have a lot to say. There's a lot to say next week when Tony's on. He's been real passionate about some stuff, and I think he's spot on about some of the things he's saying. So you got a little peek of that last night. So, but yeah, it's man. Pray for our country, guys. Pray for our country. So help your neighbor. If you don't know your neighbors, now's a good time to knock on that door. When you're community, you leave no room for yourself. We do something out here. Our family does. We try to do it every year. We have a block party. We just invite everybody to come over and just hang out. Just a big group to try to go on the street. Usually we do it around 4th of July or something. Maybe do some fireworks or something. Barbecue, hang out, just meet your neighbors. So we've met all the neighbors around us. If something goes on, we talk to them. They talk to us. Here's a challenge. How many people on you have you talked to? Like, I'm not talking about when you first moved in 3 or 4 years ago, 20 years for some people. How many of you actually have gone and talked to your neighbors? When a new neighbor moves in, do you go knock on the door and say, introduce yourself? Say, "Hey, my name's Larry. I'll be the guy looking at you with the binoculars." So, No, just go say hi to them. You know, we have a larger community connection through Facebook and social media these days. Someone says they need some help. If you're able to help them. You know, someone's having a hard time. Don't just hit the and this is I'm guilty of. Don't just hit a button down below. You know, say something encouraging. If you know them, call them. You know, they're having a hard time because maybe they lost a job or they're sick. Take them some food. You know, that's kind of the whole purpose of community, right? Jump in if someone needs help. Go out physically and talk to people. Don't stay online and be a keyboard warrior. Yeah. If you have something to say, go talk to the person. You know, say, hey, I know we don't agree on something. Let's go out and have some coffee, chit chat about it. Let's be civil about it. We've lost the concept of having a conversation. Freedom is where we built our foundation on. That's the foundation piece. That's the base. That's the base. That's the bottom. And there's so much more to build up on top of that. The freedom didn't just come by people waking up one day and going, you know what would be nice? If I had freedom. No, they said they went through the suffering under dictators, monarchies, overtaxation. Some shipped over here because they were kidnapped from foreign lands, shipped over here as slaves. Some are escaping. They needed a fresh start. But it all comes down to that freedom piece. Freedom. What better way to defend that freedom piece, than being in service and showing your patriotism by serving the people around you, by upholding, defending what's in that document right there. How many people have actually read the Constitution? I'm not talking about knowing a few Bill of Rights or the amendments. Have you actually read through the Constitution? I mean, you went through it in school, but have you read it in the last 20 years? 10 years? 5 years? 30 years? How long has it been since you actually read the Constitution? How long has it been since you read the Declaration of Independence? Learned about the Bill of Rights? I don't want to talk about the crap you see online or whatever else. I'm talking taking a minute and actually look at it, read it, look it up online. You can do it in 5 minutes. You can look it up. You can read it and understand the whole thing in 30 minutes. You live in a country that's the greatest country in the world. We have something that no one else has. It's a sense of freedom. Every other country in the world, and people say all these other 100-something have freedoms. Yes, there's a lot of countries that do have freedoms. Canada was argued to have lots of freedoms. We saw how that went. And all they did is park trucks and asked to talk to their leaders. And now they had money shut down. They're taking their firearms from them. If you love something, protect it. You can't sit silent and watch the things rot away and one day think that you could step up and let it be done. Yes, there's a point to be patient to watch and see what's going on. Don't let idleness and complacency cause you to watch the things you love erode away. And I'm not saying rise up and grab a gun and go cause problems. No, I'm saying get involved. Start by being part of the community. Be part of your local government. Be part of the solution, not the problem. Protect those freedoms. Protect that foundation. Show love to somebody. And I'm not talking like oogie feeling, love you, like you do with your wife or your kids. Love is simply something can be real simple, just being in service to another person. That's how you show love. And it doesn't have to become from a religious standpoint. That just has to come from a point of what you love your country, love who you are, and love for yourself. That's okay. You can love yourself. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You should love yourself. You should be happy with who you are, no matter who you are. I mean, I could go and I could talk about this over and over and over again. The whole point I wanted to talk here about was about to understand that our freedoms and our foundation of our country came from somewhere. And we need to know that and understand that. When I was a kid, there was an organization called Welcome Wagon. I'm reading a comment, by the way. uh, when a new person of a family moved to town, they went to welcome them with a small housewarming gifts and snack or food, a nice pie or cake, sounds good, etc., along with local town information. Wish you still did that. That's a great idea. Maybe stop wishing. Let's do it. Why? Be the first one. Get that welcome wagon back together. I guarantee you, there's people in the city that if you said, "Hey, you know, I want to be one to greet new people to the city. If we hear about new people coming in, whatever, let's have packages that we put together and we go take to them. Get a group and says hi." The whole point of Esticated Community Watch was to rebuild that community. And while there was a big thing, oh, it's a racist community group and all those other problems, no. We want to stand by our freedom, stand by our Constitution, and stand by the foundation of what is our country, the community and the basis of those freedoms. And I think they've shown that quite a bit. People getting together, they serve others. Just the other day, a group from ECW was moving a washer and dryer for someone because they randomly needed help. Service doesn't take a whole lot. It just takes a few minutes of your time. Stop being so closed up and start learning the community. Doesn't matter how big a town you're in. If you're not in Esticated, that's great. If you're in another town, learn your neighbors. Start there. Make a change. Be the change. And really press that foundational freedom that has been paid for at such a heavy cost. We're going to talk about a physical cost of money. Talk about the cost of blood. Losing a loved one. If you ever lost a loved one, yeah, then you'd know. It's painful. It's hard. During the Revolution, James Armistead's life changed drastically, from an enslaved person in Virginia to a double agent passing intel and misinformation. Between the two warning sides. When Armistead joined the Patriots' efforts, they assigned him to infiltrate the enemy. That's probably one of the most dangerous jobs out there, is to be a double agent, or not even be to go out and serve and be another side, and to try to get that on there. It's very dangerous. And people did stuff like that. They went out and they fought for their neighbors. They fought for themselves. They fought for their family. They actually had to go and fight. They had to go into foreign areas and do these things. It shouldn't be too hard to go out and to share and protect and show your freedoms by simply knowing them and knowing them properly. Don't assume. Learn it. Take the time to learn your freedoms, what they actually mean. Protect those freedoms by, when it comes time to vote, when it comes time to stand on those freedoms, stand on them. But even more so, protect why they're there. And that's by loving your neighbor, being a good neighbor, being a good citizen, being a good community member. That's how you protect your freedoms. That's how you protect why they're there. That's how you show honor and thanks for the sacrifice of those people who paid to give you what you got today. Because the price has to be paid. It has to be paid on a daily basis. Someone out there is paying that price. In service, and I'm not talking about just in military. I'm talking about law enforcement on the street. I'm talking about firefighters. I'm talking about all those who protect those on a daily basis, keeping this thing running. So I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight, listening to me babble on here. Let me see if there's any other comments before we let you guys go. I don't see anything popping up right now. Well, I guess I'm going to close out by thanking you guys all and telling you guys to consider what I said tonight. Do some research. Look it up yourself. Look up some of the stories out there about those from all diverse sides that paid the price to get the freedom going. Understand what's coming forth. And be ready for next week, where we have some really cool stuff coming from Tony. Some passionate stuff he wants to talk about. And maybe y'all can ask him. Tony, I've learned what service really means from our service friends and family. That was from Tony. So, Tony, do you have any parting words you want me to throw at them for next week? I'll give you a second answer. So, I got passionate tonight, man. I had a lot of stuff to say. You can watch a little bit more from last night. Tony and I were hanging out a little bit, and we got a chance to share a little bit of that. So there's a little delay, so I got to give Tony a chance to kind of do his thing and put the message together. So you want to drink anything special tonight? Anything coming through? Nope. Hey, you guys, while you're hanging out with me, before you guys go, take a minute to seriously look at our website. Swing by, just take a look at it. Backwoodsbrothers.com. If you get a chance, at least look at the merchandise. I mean, if you can't buy anything, you can't afford it, whatever, take it to it. Just take a look at it. And if you find yourself, want a little more torture, swing by and watch Brandy's show tomorrow. No, she actually has some pretty good stuff on there. She's talked about some stuff that's been pretty passionate and things that, you really should know about. I mean, things that are affecting your kids and your families. So someone said, thank you. So, Kurt. Freedom. Tony says, last words are freedom is not free. Remember that. Freedom is not free. And thanks you guys so much. Take a chance to watch Brandy. Take a minute to watch Brandy's show next tomorrow. Thursday, campfire discussions, great stuff to talk about. Also, Tony says, appreciate the persons who paid the price. Yes. And check out their website. If you get a chance, please check out our merchandise. Help support the show. It costs money to put this on every week. We put it on for you guys. And we appreciate everything, guys. Have a good night. Go with God. And, bless you.